right, Shalom. We're the brothers of Great Millstone, the branch out of Des Moines. First and foremost, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kakwadash.
double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers who are preaching the gospel in truth and sincerity, always in charity, who's rightly about the word of truth directly and correctly. Peace, blessings, salutations to you brothers, you few sisters that may be watching as well. Shalom. You can see the title of the lesson is entitled Spirit Like the Wind. So that means another week out in the highways and hedges to Wadi Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, for continually giving us of his Holy Spirit to go out and prophesy the downfall of this present evil world. And for continually giving us of his Holy Spirit to put forth these Spirit Like the Wind lessons, Lord will, we hope it's edifying. And today we just gonna flow in the Spirit, man. Hey, it's entitled Spirit Like the Wind. You know, I wanted to speak on the first things first. Tomorrow is so-called Halloween, which you had a lot of Americans' children, right? Taking their children out and trick or treated Friday, Saturday, and today in these different times. And here it is. We're in the year of 2022, the year of the coming of our Lord. And the information age, man, where people really don't care the origins of the things that they celebrate. You know?
Right.
And the Lord is going to start bringing judgment upon these things, man, because people walking around with a mentality like, "Oh, that's shit for the kids," or the Lord is not gonna judge me for that. You a goddamn lie. You think that, man?
Yeah.
Over 150 something people over there in South Korea, they were celebrating Halloween, right? And something happened to where it was a stampede, and over 150 people died, man. Got trampled. You see? And these different judgments are going to start ramping up and increasing more and more, man. Right? Because the things you celebrate and the things you hold high within the society is really built on paganism and wickedness, man, which is idolatry. You know, dressing up, you know, the whole dressing up, and the lighting the pumpkin.
Right.
With the lantern, the whole bobbing for apples, all that, bro, all that goes back into ancient rituals that they were performing back then, man.
Old ass niggas too, bro.
That went to the sacrificing of children.
Right.
You know, they would dress up in costumes so they can disguise themselves from the spirits and these different things, man. Complete and utter madness, man. You know?
Motherfuckers don't even know what they doing.
But that's why judgment is going to run rampant here in the society. Here it is. You had them celebrating that in South Korea, showing you that the wine of Babylon is being spread around the world, man. You know? But whatever precepts we got.
Just one real quick. This is Amos 5:21. It says, I despise your feast days, and I would not smell in your solemn assemblies. Just showing you that the Lord hate these holidays, these pagan days. But here it is. You can tell our people that they are pagan, and they'll continue on living that lifestyle. Continue saying, "Oh, it's just for the kids," coming up with excuses to be able to continue to celebrate these holidays. But the Lord hate these holidays, man, and He gonna start bringing judgment unto it, you know.
But Monday's a Shabbat too, so shit, they're gonna be
Damn.
celebrating. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the Lord ain't playing, bro. The Lord is gonna judge niggas, bro.
We're coming into a time, man, when the Lord's going to return and the kingdom's going to be established, and the law that the laws of the Israelites, the laws that we were given, that's what's going to be established in the earth, man. Okay, the scriptures even talk about how the heathen don't come up to keep the Passover, bro. They're going to have to pay for that, man. Okay, so that's the laws of Yahweh Shemir Shai is what's about to govern this whole earth, man. And right now, what's going on? The whole earth lieth in wickedness, man. Okay.
This is Jeremiah 10:1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So this is the Lord telling us right here, plain and simple, don't follow the ways of the heathen. Okay? Halloween is the way of the heathens.
Right.
That's their high days, okay? Which is demonic. Okay, like the brother was saying, it's all rooted in paganism and the worship of other gods. The first commandment is the Lord said, "Well, I'm a jealous power. I have no other power before me." So you need to understand what you're taking part in. You're taking part in idolatry. Okay? You're taking part in spiritual fornication by dressing up, just simply by dressing up. You think it's harmless,
Right.
right? You putting on a costume. No, you're in the spirit of another god.
Yeah.
Okay, you're following after the ways of the heathens doing that. Same with Christmas. Oh, I'm just getting gifts for the children. No, you're in the spirit of a demon. Okay.
Yeah. Can I back you up real quick?
Yep.
This is Leviticus 18:3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doing of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. And what it says, I believe it's in what it says, I believe it's in 2nd Ezra. It says, it was the will of our fathers to destroy those nations for doing odious works. Oh, it talks about those odious works of
Witchcraft, the wisdom of Solomon.
yeah, it's wisdom of Solomon. Well, yeah, you know, could somebody grab that? Baba Bishop, odious works of witchcraft,
He's a 12th chapter.
you know? And that's why the Lord kicked those heathens out of
Verse
the
3, verse 4, something.
yeah, that's why the Lord kicked those heathens out of the Holy Land, man. Now you got guys like what's this, One Body and Yahweh Shai saying that was that Isaiah the 10th chapter when it talks about how they deck the Christmas tree.
That's
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 10.
Jeremiah
That's what
10,
we
we
just
just
read.
read it.
Oh yeah, Jeremiah 10. They try to say that's not talking about Christmas. Well, it actually is. It wasn't called Christmas then. Okay, you know, like Elder Yahweh said, Abraham, he saw the real Christmas. He saw
Yeah.
the real worship that comes from. You know what I mean? You know, but
I'll finish on that Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah 10 and verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. Halloween, bro. Halloween, like we were saying earlier, grown ass men putting costumes on. Grown ass women, you're a grown ass adult, and you're dressing up as a cartoon character,
Just to be a slut.
right? Just to be a harlot, just to be a thought. This is it. Like we was talking about before we turned the camera on. This is the worst case scenario, right? The environment, the society that we're in. Okay, everybody around us is wicked as fuck. Okay, the brother quoted it. The whole world lieth in wickedness, and this is something that we have to bear. All right, I mentioned feeling like modern day Lots, right? It says that it says that delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. So this is something that we have to endure, right? But soon salvation is gonna come to the ones that's vexed, that's sighing and crying for all the abominations that's done in the midst thereof. And destruction is going to come to the ones that's participating in these vain customs, right? It said that in the book of Sirach, or no, not Sirach, in the book of Maccabees, it said that Antiochus forced all the people to follow after his strange religion. This is strange shit that these people are participating in. And then you could tell someone straight up, Halloween goes back to the worship of the devil. And a Christian will still take their child out trick-or-treating, man.
Well, the church is organized.
Yep.
You know,
Trunk or
Yeah.
treats.
I'm working with a certain nigga, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm taking my daughter down to the church so she can get trick or treating ready or some shit." He said, and I was just thinking the whole time, like, bro, these churches are instituting, you know,
Yeah.
showing you that these churches, man, look, hey, you know what these churches are there for, man. These churches are there to further entrap our people, man.
That's right.
That's why in that Jeremiah 10, the brother started with what? Learn not the way of the heathen. You know, if you're done with that precept, if I can just read a little bit of this article here.
Yeah, there's a little bit more, so you could just read on that.
Right, so now this is housebeautiful.com. It says the origins of Halloween are darker than you imagined. Discover what lurks beneath the candy and costumes. It says, as arguably the most fascinatingly weird holiday there is, it's not surprising that Halloween has a rich, and Halloween goes back to All Hallows Eve, man. That's what it literally goes back to, All Hallows Eve, right? And brother type in All Hallows Eve and just, you know, look up on Wikipedia on that. It says, and it's going to tell you this is the same as Halloween. It says, have you ever wondered where all our contemporary Halloween rituals come from? Why, for example, do we ask strangers for sweets and threaten to trick them if they hold out on us? Sounds like a red flag to me, but there are indeed historical reasons for these traditions, and we're going to learn about them today. Now you continue to read down. You know, it goes into different things, but it says Halloween traditions have origin stories deeply rooted in mythology, which goes into ideology. No, what am I thinking of? Idolatry. Thwada. That's what I was thinking of. Idolatry, right? So it says, so keep reading to learn about Halloween's origin story and how it has evolved over the years. So it says, so I can scroll down. It says the Halloween predates Christianity, stretching all the way to ancient Celtic celebration, and by ancient we mean about 2,000 years ago. Known as Samhain, which is it says pronounced so in, but you can look up that as well. It says in what is now modern day Ireland, parts of France, and the United Kingdom. Like most ancient holidays, Samhain, which it says is pronounced so in, but I'm gonna pronounce it the way you know, it says Samhain marked a transition of seasons from summer to the beginning of winter. Now I know our brother is already holding Wisdom of Solomon 12 for the eye, but also hold 14 on deck, where it says that they deemed either fire, wind, water, or the course of the stars to be gods, man. Because all these so-called holidays that's being exalted within this place goes back into the changing of seasons. You see? And it all goes back into what? Paganism. It all goes back to learning not the way of the heathen. See, we didn't worship the changing of the seasons. We didn't worship the women organ. We didn't worship the male organ, right? That's why you see the suits and ties. That's why you see a lot of these skyscrapers. That's why you see phallic symbols everywhere, right? Yeah. Or Easter, it worships what? The goddess of fertility, which goes into what? The worship of a woman in her vagina, man. The eggs represent, you know, reproductive. You see, all this is rooted in paganism, man. Right? But it says, Samhain marked the transition of seasons from summer to the beginning of winter. Hence the sort of dark and stormy vibes of Halloween today. Celebrators believe that on this night, October 31st, the portal between the realm of the living and the dead opened, allowing lost souls to return to human-occupied Earth. This ghostly presence was associated with a few things, from the agricultural, wreaking havoc on crops, to the supernatural, enhancing the clairvoyant capacity of druids, which the druids were the Celtic priests, man, right? You could look up that as well, you see? Yeah. And a lot of customs that's been ingrained in this place.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe the dreadlocks.
The dreadlocks,
Go back to druids.
It says so that they could make predictions and communicate with the dead to facilitate happier, warmer winters, man. So when the Lord would plague a certain nation and destroy their crops, or for them to have a harsh winter, they would accredit it to they bullshit gods, right? And they'll try to appease the God of harvest by sacrificing their daughter or their son, or these different goofy, you know, but these are heathen once again. And we ought not to be caught up in these ways, man. You see, in today's time, guess what? Well, from what the majority of people know, they're not sacrificing people, which the elites are still doing. Keep that in mind. Human sacrifice is still being performed this day. It's just hitting now. See, back then it was openly. Today's society is hitting now, man. The majority of people are not thinking that still continues, but it does. But what these people do is sacrifice their children spiritually now, man. By allowing their children to partake in these different things, man. By indoctrinating them within that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like in Hollywood, you could literally sacrifice one of your relatives, or you could make them a living sacrifice. Case in point,
Dwayne Wade's son.
Dwayne Wade's son.
Will Smith's children.
Yeah, those are living sacrifices, man.
This is Leviticus 18:21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am the Lord Yahweh. So, you're not supposed to allow your children to participate in these things, man. That's the excuse that people like to use. It's for the children. Something for the children to, you know, have fun, dress up. But it's your big grown ass that's dressing up, though. It's for the children. Your big grown ass is dressing up, going to the clubs. You a grown ass man with a beard on your face, 220 pounds, and you got a costume on.
Your ass dressed like
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah,
it's a big ass grown ass nigga, but he's dressed up as Buzz Lightyear. All right, but the Christmas is for the children. This is all. This is your children are gonna die because of this, right? In the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, it says that their wives shall be ravished and their children dashed into pieces. The same children that you have in trick or treating, the same children that you getting presents for on Christmas, that you filling up with ham on Thanksgiving, okay? Those are the same children that's about to get judged in these times that we coming into, man. All right, we supposed to be teaching our children the customs and the ways of our forefathers, the law, statutes, and commandments, bringing them up in the Passover, right? In the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and our holy days, which actually have significance and meaning to it. Niggas Thanksgiving is about your people being conquered. Niggas celebrate 4th of July. You niggas was in captivity. You niggas was still slaves. Okay? But holy days like the Passover, that's in memory of us being delivered out of Egypt, how the Lord showed mercy. Okay? All the other holy days, it has significance and meaning to it, man. Right? That's it on that Leviticus though.
I'm gonna just finish this up real quick. It says the festivals also typically involve bonfires, which is where you get the lighting and the lantern, right?
Lanterns you put outside your house.
Mm-hmm. It says at which the attendees wore costumes, which they still do that to this day. You had the movie with Tom Cruise. They killed the director for making that movie, by the way. Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
At those ceremonies that they have, what are them people are wearing?
Massive.
They're wearing that. They're dressing up, man. You see, and it's showing you that it's going back all the way to an ancient pagan custom, man.
Yeah.
You see? Oh well, it's today. It's different than today. No, it's not. No, it's not. See, just like how Christmas goes back into the Roman festival of Saturnalia, which actually goes back further than that, right? But just because during the so-called Dark Ages, when wicked jakes were ruling, they incorporated the worship of our Lord with paganism, man. And that's the same thing that happened with All Hallows Eve. Because when you read about it, a certain pope ordained November 1st as All Saints Day.
Mm-hmm. Pope Gregory the III.
I knew. I figured it was because I had read it earlier, but I couldn't remember the exact, But he incorporated November 1st of being All Saints Day, where you would honor the dead saints, man. And just coincidentally, right? The day before was All Hallows Eve, All Hallow Eve, meaning the day before all the saints. That's where you get hallowed from. It's separated. It's saint. It's holy, right? But once again, it's rooted within these pagan customs, man. And like the apostles always go into about knowing the history. See, knowing and understanding the history would allow us to understand what's the origins and what's the things that people celebrate today, right? So just to finish it out, it says, the festivals also typically involve bonfires at which the attendees wore costumes and participated in sacrifices of crops and animals. And they left out human sacrifices, man.
Yeah, they left that out.
You see, that was a part of it as well. It says, and majority of it was child sacrifice.
Yeah.
And that's why people always got that mentality and say it's for the kids.
Yeah.
Well, they would sacrifice the children.
Damn.
They would do that on so-called Christmas, right? They would do that on so-called Halloween. That's why the brother read in Leviticus and said, and the Lord told us as the children of Israel not to be doing what we see those heathen were doing, man. That's why it says not to let your child pass through the fire unto Molech. Because these heathen were sacrificing their children unto these idols, man.
Yep. It's for the kids.
And yeah, that's why they say that. It's for the kids, man.
That's wild.
They say that for everything.
It says, afterward, the community would use the bonfire to light their own hearse as a sort of closing ceremony for summer and the initiation of winter. So while death and fear are at the heart of it, so are fun and celebration. You see how they want to add the no, bro? Those ancient festivals, man, resulted in child sacrifice, right? It resulted in orgies and just complete and utter debauchery, man.
Debauchery, yeah.
You know? But we can, I know brothers got some points in what you got. I know you got some points in what you got. let's hit the precept first, and then let's hit some of those points.
I'll read some more on this Jeremiah 10:3. It says, "For the customs of the people are vain." We just read about the custom that people are getting ready to celebrate, the Halloween. That's just vanity. Right there, lighting the candle and celebrating the end of the summer and the beginning of the winter and doing sacrifices of humans and animals to get protection during the winter. That's all vain, man. All right? It's all vain and it's all wicked, right?
Yeah, 'cause, I just scrolled down as you continue to read. It says it talks about how after the Roman Empire had conquered the Celtics, right? I'm gonna just read a few points. It says there are some links to the Roman festival of Feralia, in which the community mourned its dead, as well as another ceremony called Pomona, named after the Roman goddess of the apple, where you get what?
Apple
The
bottom.
bobbing for apples, man. You see? In which celebrators honored fruits and trees. You see? So over the years, you had what? People that conquered, they would celebrate those same things, but add other parts
Add
of
more
their
gods
shit
and
to it,
shit.
man.
So it's all fucking gumbo.
So that's why, and
cider,
today,
yeah, fuck
you
yeah.
got what? The bobbing of apples.
You got all that
Dress
shit.
it
Right.
up.
It's apple cider. all
You
that.
got apple cider. You got all those things. You got what? The trick-or-treating, you
Pumpkins.
giving gifts and doing all that. You got the lighting of the pumpkins.
Trick or treating.
Right? You got all this that was incorporated. You see? That was added on after what? Different nations started celebrating it, man. So it's just a bunch of paganism.
It's stupid shit.
Bunch of pagan bullshit, man.
Pagan gumbo,
You know?
nigga.
But you got it back,
For
guy.
the customs of the heathen are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. And like the brother was saying, you said it's one body, right? One body saying this is not talking about Christmas. This is the same. This is the same exact thing. The same exact way they celebrate Christmas is being described right here in the Bible. So it doesn't specifically say, this is don't celebrate Christmas, but it's going into the customs of Christmas, of what they call today Christmas.
It just wasn't.
Decking the
it-
trees and all that.
That's it. It just didn't have that title back then.
Right.
You know, just like Halloween. Halloween was something different back then, but it's the same shit
Right.
today.
Exactly.
And if it wasn't Christmas, then what is it then? What is that describing then?
Yeah,
Right.
you
Right.
set
You know
up
what I'm
a
saying?
tree, you deck it with the what do they call that shit? The
Ornaments.
no, the ornaments
star?
with
Oh,
the fucking
light?
wrap. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
The
yeah.
tinsel? Is it tinsel?
I forgot what they call it.
Whatever the
Like
fuck
the
that
fluffy
shit's
shit?
called. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
the
shit you
silver
put
shit.
around
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Silver
tree.
fluffy
It's
shit,
the
yeah.
same shit, man.
yeah, it's gold,
They
it's
both
silver.
Well, that's why it's in the color of gold and silver.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's going back and representing the actual
Exactly.
gold
Right.
and silver that they would put on there,
Right.
man.
The
That's
stockings, you put the stockings up, all that shit,
The
man.
star.
Yeah.
And it ain't no, yeah, and it ain't no
Ornaments.
different when you go around the world because what I was just thinking right now, or Issachar be like, oh well, we don't celebrate that, we celebrate the Day of the Dead, right, for our ancestors. No, that's all go back, and really that shit goes back to the Spaniards, which goes back to that, to the the shit that the brothers bringing out with the Celtics.
The dead saints. You know, the dead saints.
Yep, this is Jeremiah 10:3. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and now you just go to Walmart, right? Instead of someone already did the job for you. So now
Right.
you go to Walmart, you already can buy it pre-assembled, or you gotta put it together,
The
so on and so
convenience of
forth.
paganism.
right? It says, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe, they deck it with silver and with gold, that's the ornaments. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Yep. And what you do, you buy when you buy the tree, it comes with that
Base.
stand
Yeah,
that you put in
Right.
in order to keep the tree upright.
yeah.
Right.
Like come on, man.
Same
And there's some
exact
people
thing.
that
ain't
still
talking
do it
about,
though.
nigga. So what it's talking about then, nigga? What?
Right.
I don't even know how people listen to him.
Yeah.
But it's lucky, brother.
They
You gonna
are,
say something?
No. I said there's people that still do it like that though. There's people that have
Yeah.
outside trees
Actually,
and
yeah.
inside trees, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
What the hell
You know,
y'all doing in your house?
yeah. Esau known for that. You watch different movies and shit. You
Right,
know,
big ass
well,
trees.
I remember when Christmas would come around. Of
Right.
course, our tree would be fake. You know, yeah, it's put in a box every year. You gotta
Yeah.
grab that motherfucker out the closet. But you watch movies and shit, and Esau and his family, they going out in the snow and shit. They sledding and shit.
Yeah,
The daddy cutting down the tree. Which tree do we need?
yeah, was
The
Right.
children pointing out the
Yeah.
tree. Let's get this one, daddy. He
Dragging
cut
it
it
back.
down and shit.
Strap it on the car.
Yeah, they bringing it back.
Wow.
You know, in the world, Jake used to be jealous as hell. Like, this fake ass tree, man.
They all
Knock it
together
down
as a
and shit,
family,
nigga.
carving pumpkins, they do all kinds of shit.
You know? But man, Thawadi Yahweh
So
Bashar
why
Shah,
they
man.
try?
That he brought us out of that madness, man.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yep.
Just imagine you got children and now you doing that same wicked ass shit with your children. Like, fuck that, man. Taking your children trick or treating just because the whole world is doing it. Alright, it is truly a blessing to come out of darkness. Still grown ass men putting costumes on.
Yeah.
But that's why in Exodus 23:2 it says, "Falling out of multitude to do evil, man." And the majority of these people does nothing but evil. And if you follow after that, man, you're gonna be destroyed, plain and simple. But
Right.
like the brother said, the Lord has taken us out of that darkness and gave us this marvelous light. You know.
Yeah, the crazy thing, shit.
Mhm.
Living here in America, man, it's goddamn Halloween every day.
Right.
Yeah, bro. I was literally thinking.
You got men wanting to be women their whole life. It's Halloween every day for this nigga.
in the whole costume.
You know?
Shit.
Animals going to school.
Yeah. This
Gods
motherfucker
and
identifies as a dog.
vampires.
Bro, it's this one Asian, bro. He bought a whole dog costume. It's like a real life
Yeah,
dog
the furries, I
costume.
think they call them furries.
This shit bugged out.
Yep.
This nigga want to be a fucking dog. Like, here it is. This dude go to work, make his living, and when he come home, he lives as a dog. See, these is the people you work with.
What the
The
fuck?
people you that laughing, you sitting at you at the lunch table. Hey, how you doing, Bob? Hey, how you doing, Jerry?
How was the family?
The family is great. Yeah, talking about his son and kids and all that bullshit, but that's what the fuck they doing when they go home,
Yeah,
man.
he watches his wife get slut out by by a black man, or
Right,
after
he pays
after
for
work
it.
he's your manager. After work he goes to a drag show and
Yeah.
he's dressing up.
Bro,
The same
like,
mad
come the
nigga,
fuck
this nigga's
on, man.
mad and he's an asshole at work, but he's dressing up in drag at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, he mad because he can't be him at work.
Exactly, because he can't.
Oh, well, now they can. Shit.
And you got at work they're making you watch videos going in on using the proper pronouns for
Yeah.
those type of people
For
and
them.
addressing them according to the gender that they
Right.
want to be. They're making you get
pronouns.
trained on that shit, bro.
I
Yeah.
told y'all, Joe, I work with 2 Transformers. There's a girl who identifies as a man, and there's a fucking man that identifies the girl. And everybody there, when dude do something, she did this. I'm like, he? And I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
They be
I'm the
scared
only
and
one.
shit.
You know? This nigga ride past, I'll be like, bro, what did he just say? Oh, she said this. Nigga, no, bro. No, bro. This nigga got a whole 5 o'clock
Yeah.
shadow.
They look at you crazy.
Bro, that shit
They look
is
at you
wild,
crazy
bro.
for addressing that person as for what they are.
Bro, I'm watching this nigga, bro. This nigga lifting the barrels of propane on his back. Bro, I'm watching, I'm like, bro, they talking about that's a she?
Oh,
No,
ass nigga.
bro.
This shit
No,
is
bro.
fucking wicked.
And then the girl, this bitch taking hormones, she got a full ass beard.
What the
Oh.
fuck?
Yes,
That's
bro.
disrespectful.
Yes.
That shit's vexing, bro.
And everybody called this bitch Zach.
Zaquisha.
You know, like, bro, it's
Damn.
horrible, bro.
That shit is
Zach.
disgusting.
Bro, the shit is horrible,
That
man.
shit is
I
Zach.
hate seeing that shit.
That shit is whack.
That's why.
It's fucking Halloween every day. We in the fucking Twilight Zone, man.
That's why it says in the book of Psalms, it says he delivered me out of a horrible pit, man. Out of the miry clay, man. We are in the worst case scenario, man.
This is hell. This
Yeah,
is literally hell.
Hell, bro.
I read one more verse on that. This is Jeremiah 10:5. It says, "They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born."
Meaning be carried.
Yeah.
How did they get in the house? Your ass carried it in there. You know?
Because they cannot go. The house catch on fire because of all them lights you put on that tree. The
Yup.
tree ain't finna jump out that motherfucker. The tree's gonna burn with the house.
Yeah, that's the first thing that burns.
It says, "Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good." So you setting this tree up pretty much as an idol in your house, man. You decking it with gold, with silver, right? Trying to give it life, okay? But it goes not. It can't go nowhere, right? And then you put presents under the tree. You're going and bowing to the tree as you're grabbing the presents. If you're participating in shit, the Lord's gonna judge you,
Bro.
man. The Lord's gonna judge you because, like the brother said, the information is out there. Matter of fact, every so-called holiday come around, you got the brothers teaching
Yep.
how it's rooted in wickedness and bringing scriptures out to tell you that you're not supposed to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's no cloak for your sin. Okay, you're gonna get judged for participating, for putting that costume on. Yes, you're gonna get judged for being Buzz Lightyear this year. All right, you're gonna be judged for saying Happy Thanksgiving. All right,
Imagine that,
and
bro.
not meaning you're in the spirit of it, man. Eating ham and shit in the spirit of Thanksgiving, right? You're gonna be judged for getting presents on Christmas. All right, you're gonna get judged
Being
for
in the
that.
spirit of it,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, because you might be in the faith and your mom might buy you something. Yeah, that ain't condemning you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Y'all about your mouth shy, you know? He gave it to me.
So you don't even get judged for voting shit.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah,
voting as
Yeah.
well.
Being in the spirit of these things,
Yeah.
man. You know.
Yeah, because we have holy days where you can give gifts.
Yep, sure.
Again, and our holy days have righteous meanings behind them.
Weeks and shit.
The holidays you're celebrating is rooted in orgies and child
Mixed
sacrifice. That's what you're celebrating. That's what you're giving gifts to your children. You're giving gifts to your children in the spirit of orgies
Mhm.
and child sacrifice.
That's rooted
That's
in,
rooted.
like it says, in mythology,
Yeah.
myths, lies.
Wow.
Right? They'll say they God, some God fucking was mad and did this. You know.
Right.
It's like the Vikings. When you hear certain Viking stories, when
Right.
it thunder and rain, they was like, that's
Oh,
Thor
it's
hitting his
angry.
hammer
Yeah.
and all this
Oh,
shit.
shit's wicked.
When it's storming and they at sea, Poseidon is angry and all, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just see these it's carnal things once again. It's carnal things. Let's hit that 14, the Wisdom of Solomon.
14 and what?
Let's start at the top.
Okay.
Because these heathen are rooted in the things that they see.
Right.
That's why they equate it to. That's why they worship the things they worship, and that's why they equate certain things to that, man. Oh no, that's the 12th chapter. We gonna hold that. Let's get 14 and 1.
This Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse 1. It says again, one preparing himself to
Nope, it might be 13.
Yeah.
13 and 1.
They're all they're all vain. Yep.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13 and verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster.
And they looking at all this, man. They feel the wind that's blowing on their on their ass, man. Right? They're eating the food that grow off the trees. You see? They feeling the heat that come from the sun. They're feeling these things, man. They seeing it. But yet they're not acknowledging the workmaster. Go ahead, though.
But deem either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water of the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world.
You see that? So heathen equate what? The god Poseidon is the god of the ocean. You see? That's why they worship the group of stars. That's why they worship the wind. It's a whole god for the wind. It's a whole god for the crops. Right? See, King Solomon is breaking it down for us, man. Go ahead, Op.
It says, with whose beauty, if the being delighted took them to be gods, let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty had created them.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made them.
Come on now. You know, look at the might of the sun. Look at the wind.
Sun's powerful.
The wind is a gentle breeze, or nigga, that shit a fucking
Blow your
tornado
house
will
down.
come and rip your shit up. You know,
Same with water.
it's the same with water. It's the same with all that, man.
Water can be calm, but it can be
Or
raging.
it can crash.
It can crash.
You know,
Yeah.
but it says what? If those things can do that, how much more powerful, how much more majesty do the one that made him have, man?
Wow.
And these people don't know the Lord, but yet He has revealed Himself unto us, man.
Wow.
That's heavy within itself. There's a precept. Grab Isaiah 44. Isaiah 44 started. What is that? Isaiah 44 started. Start at 7.
Isaiah 44 and verse 7. It says, "And who as I shall call."
Start at 6.
Come, verse 6. Isaiah 44 and 6. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God.
Mm-hmm.
And who as I shall call and declare it, and set an order for me, since I appointed the ancient people and the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them.
Right. So the Lord, like, look, I appointed this, I established that. Right? I am he that do these things, man. I say this is about to happen, and it happens. Who is he that can disannul it or stop it? Where at on the earth is these heathen? Any one of the so-called philosophies of these heathen is showing you what's about to happen to this earth. That's why the Lord just said. It says that are coming and shall come. Let them show unto them. There's another precept where the Lord was like, bro, let them declare it. What's about to happen? The Quran don't do that. The Book of the Dead, the Epic of Gilgamesh, all that bullshit. None of that foretells what's about to happen to this place, man. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, did it prophesy its own downfall? You see? But here it is within our book. It tells about our rise. It tells about our fall.
What we're going through now.
It tells about the rise and fall of the heathen nations.
Yeah.
That Babylon would be at its height, and then Babylon would be brought down. And it's very specific on who would rule after that. Like, come on, man.
Come on.
Reality.
The particular king that the Lord would use in order to establish that next kingdom,
Like, come on, dudes.
down to actual names, bro.
The river Euphrates, it
Drying up.
prophesied that was going to dry up.
Damascus shall be a ruinous heap. Look at it now.
Shit, this war between America and Russia. We see tension between the two because it was prophesied in the Bible. It's written that the Third World War would be those two key figures. Babylon being America, Russia being Gog and Magog, also known as the Medes. The Lord said, I'll start the Medes against Babylon. What do we see taking place? We see Russia, we see high tensions between Russia and America. Matter of fact, they're saying that nuclear war is closer than it's ever been since the fucking Cuban Missile Crisis, man. All right? Which they was about to shoot missiles during the Cuban Missile Crisis. But it wasn't time. Other prophecies had to be fulfilled. But now we in that time. Ain't nothing stopping them, man.
They got time now.
They got time now, man. All the prophecies is taking place. Jake is woken up. All right. They're pushing the Charagma. All right. And then and now we're seeing the two great kingdom, the two superpowers going at it.
Yep, it's allies gathering.
Yep.
Like Ezekiel 38 speaks about, man. You know, you can see how Russia is going back to that old mentality. That's why they were doing what they're doing with Ukraine.
Come on, bro.
That's the Lord putting them hooks in those jaws and turning them back.
Yeah. Yep.
He's coming back into that mentality. Like, look, we need all this in order. We need this territory. We need this, right?
Because Ukraine was a part of the Soviet Union, right?
Yeah.
So that's why he's going back and recovering that. That's the spirit. That's literally Ezekiel 38. Oh, well, the previous chapter, we mentioned that line, Ezekiel 37. It talks about the valley of dry bones and putting a stick together. It said they stood upon the spirit of life entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. We're seeing all these things happen. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right? It's speaking.
So declaring the end from the beginning.
That's right. Everything that's written, how is it speaking? That Ezekiel 38 is speaking because you're seeing in the news Russia and America preparing for World War III, and all these other countries preparing for World War III. That's Joel speaking. Joel the 3rd chapter speaking. Revelations 13 and 16. November 1st, Elon Musk, he's supposed to be going into the Neuralink, right? That's C-HIP. That's Revelations 13 and 16 speaking, man. We're at the end of this. Okay? How do we know that? Because the Spirit's upon us to measure the times diligently within itself. And we know that we're in the times where the highest is beginning to visit this world. That's all.
Come back in Isaiah 44 at verse 8, it says, Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? Ye are even my witnesses. Is there a God beside me? Yea, there is no power, I know not any.
That's heavy.
Nobody like the Lord, man. Right? Go ahead.
They that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable things shall not profit. And they are their own witnesses. They see not, nor know, that they may be ashamed. who have formed a god or a molten graven image that is profitable for nothing.
Right. You see? You can't form a God, bro. Going back to that wisdom of Solomon, it even said you can't even make a God like unto yourself. Here it is, our power was able to breathe life into everything we see. Esau likes to fancy himself a God, right? Look, it's always a scoffer. But Esau likes to fancy himself a God, but yet he can't make a God like unto himself, meaning he can't make a power like unto himself.
Yeah.
He trying.
He has life. See, the Lord gave Esau life. He can't give life to something else. That's why he's what? Got artificial wombs. You see? Because he's trying to be God. But here it is, nigga. You're taking something that's already created. You ain't creating something out of it, you know?
Nigga.
That's why he want to create artificial intelligence. Right?
Right.
Because he's trying to create life, bro. You can't do it, bro.
He's trying with
AI.
his, robots. You know, they had a robot basically at the UN, fucking speaking and shit. You know?
Yeah, they call it artificial intelligence, right? The AI robots. Oh, they're starting to develop a mind of their own, and this and that. It says, verse 10, who hath formed a god or a molten a graven image.
Just let him be, man.
Bro,
Hey, these
the
gonna be the
spirit-
same garments you gonna see ruling over your ass in the time to come, man.
Stomping you in your head.
Beating you over your head, man, over and over again. See, before the camera came over, we was talking
We
about
was talking
what we
about-
gonna do to Esau, bro.
Hell yeah.
You see? And we're gonna be able to do it in righteousness, man.
Gonna get crushed.
See all you heathen got is little shit that you want to talk shit and thinking that you getting to somebody. You ain't getting to nobody, bruh. Because we know what we're reading.
It's real.
You see? We're the witnesses of the Lord.
That's
We're
right.
declaring these things, what's about to happen. So you can tear yourself in your anger, mad as hell, pulling your hair out.
He don't got
These things is gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, it's,
It don't matter. You talk your shit. Talk your shit. Yeah, little kitty costumes, yeah. But here it is, it's Halloween. You don't say that shit to these people that's out there celebrating.
right. Hypocrite
He
ass
probably got
motherfucker.
his costume.
Dissembler.
well, the scripture says the Lord shall laugh at him for he see that his day is coming, man. We already know what's about to happen to you, man. And for you fucking, for you, all you little Americans, man, while you talking shit, your government has dug graves for you, nigga, already. They don't got no room for you in their bunkers, man.
Well, these little peon Edomites, man. Here it is, the son of the concubine took your inheritance, my nigga.
Yep.
He's been ruling the earth, riding high, kicking it. While he left you little peons down here next to us.
Some of them beneath us.
We're in our punishment, and you right next to us. This supposed to be your world, nigga.
Bro, 10.
Right.
This supposed to be the time where you live it, but here it is. You got Jakes and our punishment living better than you. You should be really fucking mad, man.
Yep.
While everybody coming at Kanye, anti this and anti that. No, you motherfuckers should be mad at the small hats, man. Because they took everything. They ruled this whole time while you Edomite, you little peon Edomites ain't did shit.
Mad
So in the
as
kingdom to come, you are fucking 2-time. I'm glad the brother put that.
I'm just saying.
Because hey, how long time, man? We be saying it all the time. You was a 2-time loser, my
That
nigga.
really hurts them.
Like you gotta deal with that, bro.
Yeah.
You can talk your shit down. We in our lower state, bro. The scripture says what? We shall be a proverb and a byword. Who am I to get mad at that? That's prophecy, nigga. Talk your shit, bro. It is what it is. But guess what? Yahweh Shai is returning.
Yeah.
These things are happening.
Yeah.
So that means we're gonna rule this earth, man. So all that shit talking will be remembered, man. You see?
yeah.
So hey, you know, do what you do, my nigga. You know?
And this is as good as it gets for you Edomites, man.
Scoffing on
All right, this is as good as it. Joe Biden and the shit that's going on right now is as good as it gets for you motherfuckers. And they're about to put a motherfucking CHIP in your fucking brain. You already probably working at a fucking coal mine. That job gonna get shut down, man. Okay? And this is as good as it gets for you, man. It's all downhill for you motherfuckers, man. You're going into slavery, man.
Right, he mentioned Jesus earlier, and not to spend too much time on that, but he mentioned Jesus earlier. Well, whom the Lord Italy calls Jesus, he wore a garment down to the foot, as is described in the book of Revelations.
That's
So
how
you
you-
calling this costume? This is the ancient whom the worldly calls Jesus Christ. This is
I-
how he dressed. This is relics of our ancient apparel, a garment down to the foot. Like the brother said, we're in our lowest state right now. This is sackcloth,
That's the
right?
scripture says,
Relics of how the Israelites, the true Israelites, would dress in the ancient days, man. All right, that shit that them Khazars be wearing, that's damn sure not
Yeah.
ancient Israelite apparel. A black three-piece suit with a big ass black hat, or a small, a small yarmulke, right? Big nose, small hat. They're not the chosen people, man. All right, but you got it back in that.
Back in Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 10, it says, "Who hath formed a god or a molten or graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen they are of men. Let them all be gathered together. Let them stand up, yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed together. The smith with the tongs both worketh in the coals, and fashioneth with hammers, and worketh it with the strength of his arms. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth."
Hey,
He-
I just said this motherfucker probably working the coal mine, and then you read this, man. As a spirit, man, you know, because I think that was a custom. You had you put the coal underneath the they put like a coal on it. Because basically they had the stockings, they hung the stockings. Basically, if you were a bad kid, they put the coal in the stocking, and that was supposed to be like your punishment. You didn't get a present, and then you fucking get a piece of coal. That's funny
About
that's
Christmas.
that's mentioned.
Which that shit goes back to Krampus, I believe.
Krampus, yep.
Right, but this is going into blacksmiths, ironsmiths,
Yep.
making idols. But go ahead up.
Yep. It says, "He is hungry and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water and is faint. The carpenter stretcheth out his rule. He marketh it out with a line. He filleth it with planes and marketh it out with the compass, and maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house."
Right, and right here is just what instruments of measurement. This is all the way back in the time of Isaiah. Isaiah lived during the Assyrian Empire, man. Right, but they tell you that civilization, mathematics, and all that bullshit started with the Greeks.
Shit.
This is well before the Greeks. It says a compass, right? Stretches it out with the line. These are all measurements right here, man. Letting you know that. See what Esau teaches, man. See, this guy is losing, like the brother put in there, bro. They know they losing, man.
Over with.
They're losing. And this word has gone out and you cannot stop it.
Can't do it.
There's a precept in Proverbs where it mentions about how contention is like when one letteth out of water. Well, this water being this truth, man, once you gave it passage, guess what? It gushed out after that, man. And now you can't stop it, my nigga. Now what's happening?
It's flourishing.
The knowledge of the Lord shall cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. I'm roughly paraphrasing Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, man. That's why you got everybody everywhere talking about Israelites, man. You
Perfect.
see? It's nothing you can do. Go ahead, up.
Verse 14, "He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress, and the oak which he strengtheneth for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain doth nourish it. Then shall it be for a man to burn, for he will take thereof and warm himself. Yea, he kindleth it, and baketh bread. Yea, he maketh a god, and worshipeth it. He maketh it a graven image, and falleth down thereto."
So look at this image that the Lord is painting us here, man. This guy go into the forest, he cuts down this tree, right? And with this same tree, he uses a part of it as firewood to warm himself with, right? He got another set of firewood that he can put on the coal so he can make his food with, man, right? Probably make a table, you know, make a door, you know what I'm saying? Buying the wood together to make pillars and posts, and you building your house with it. And with the refuge, this nigga carves a fucking idol that he worships.
Bow down and pray to the shit.
You see, like this is the Lord. Like, bro, look how silly this sounds,
That's
man.
what this nigga is.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's keep reading.
Come. It says, verse 15. No, Salakia, verse 16. "He burneth part thereof in the fire, with part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasteth roast and is satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself and said, Aha, I am warm, I have seen the fire. And the residue of it he maketh a god, even his graven image. He falleth down unto it, and worship it, and prayeth unto it, and say, Deliver me, for thou art my God.
Mm-hmm.
They have they have not known nor understood, for he has shut their eyes that they cannot see, and their hearts that they cannot understand.
And that's key right there. We read all that just to get that part. Because we came to this precept. Why? Because we said, bro, the Lord has revealed himself unto us, which that he hasn't revealed himself to these other people, man. Here it is right there letting you know that the Lord closed their hearts. The Lord closed their minds. The Lord gave them over to worship these idols, man. That's a fucked up mindset to be in, man. Once again, Tawadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah for calling us out of that. Because right now, we're in our right mind and we're able to be like, bro, that's stupid as fuck. But here it is. You tell somebody that Jesus guy, we reading this precept going clean over this nigga head, man. This nigga still gonna worship that cross on his neck that's made of fucking plastic. You know. Nigga got prayer beads and shit. What's that finna do for you, man? But go ahead.
Verse 19, and none considereth it in his heart.
Why? Because the Lord don't put it on their spirit to consider it. It says, none considereth it in his heart. Go ahead.
Neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. Yea, also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it. And shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree?
See, that's that. The Lord don't give them thoughts like that. It says that, bro, it don't even come into their mind. Like, bro, I just did that. I did this with the same wood. Now I'm gonna make a god. The Lord don't give them those thoughts to even reason like that, man. You see, man, the water, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, man. That's why in Proverbs, the first chapter says what? To give subtlety unto the simple. To the young man, knowledge and discretion. And this is exactly what we're giving unto our people, man. Those that have ears, let them hear. You know, to whom the Lord see fit to open their hearts and minds to receive this, man.
It's heavy.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, the brother keeps saying the Wadi Al Basham Yahushai because it's only by his mercy that we're able to see what we see, hear what we hear, understand what we can understand, man. It says in the book of Baruch, in the land of their captivity, where they remember themselves and think upon my name, I will give them eyes to see and a heart to understand. The word heart goes back to the Hebrew word lab. So we reason the way we reason is because the Lord is working with us, man. He put it in our spirit to search out the origins of these different customs, man. He put it in our spirit to search out the ways of our forefathers. We heard that we're Israelites, right? When you first heard that you were Israelite, he put it in our spirit to go and search it out. And now look where we at today, okay? Go back to when you first heard you were Israelite. The Lord put in our spirit to go deeper into it. There's certain people that hear that they're Israelites and they don't, that's it for them. That's it for them. They don't go and do any extra research. They don't go and watch any other videos. They just got that. But he put it in our spirit to search it out and to fall in love with this word. And it keeps it on our spirit to continue to this day. To wake up, to pray to him, to praise him. That's all him. It says in the book of Philippians, it says that it's the Father that worketh.
It's of the Most High that worketh and willeth in us to do his will.
Yeah, to do of his will and his good pleasure. So yeah, you quoted this one.
I can back you up. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 2. The Most High be gracious unto you, and remember his covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, his faithful servants, and give you all an heart to serve him, and to do his will with a good courage and a willing mind. So the Lord has to give us the heart to do these things, right? Verse 4, and open your hearts in the law and commandments, and send you peace. All right, so like the brother was going into, man, it's all of the Lord that puts these things in our spirit, man. That's why in the book of Sirach it says, above all, pray this, that the Most High direct your steps in the paths of truth, man. Because everybody's been appointed a lot in a role that they're going to play out according to his movie, man. So everything is going according to the course, you know. But I got that precept that you had quoted, Philippians chapter 2 and verse, I'll start at verse 12. It says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own
And that's when it matters most. That's when it matters most, when you by yourself. And that's how you show that you truly believe if you live by it, even when no one's watching. You know, you're Israelite at all times, not when just brothers are around, not when you have just eyes on you. When you're in the room by yourself, right, and right and wrong is presented onto you, and that's when it matters. You know, when you choosing what's written over what you want, what your flesh is calling for. You know, but read that again.
Con, it says Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12, for it is, Salakia, it says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation.
And that's how you know someone. That's how you know someone truly love you, right? Or you have a woman. Yeah, of course, when she right in front of you, she acting right. Well, how much more you should be able to trust her when you leave, right? She not gonna be jumping on every nigga, you know, that she see or whatever the case may be, right? Being faithful at all times. Go ahead.
It says, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
And that's what should be on the forefront of our mind. Salvation. That's what our priority should be sent. Our main priority is working out salvation. Everything else is second. Everything else comes after that. Go ahead.
Verse 13, for it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
And that shows you how blessed we are, man. It's the Lord that got us sitting here doing this lesson. He put it all in our spirit, man. And all we got to do, if there's anything we lack, all we got to do is pray to him. All right? It says, if any man lack wisdom, let him pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua that give it to all men liberally. So anything that we lack, and all we got to do is pray to him, and he'll put the spirit on us to do of his good pleasure, like the brother just read.
That's right. I'm going to just read it in the NLT
So
real
he's
quick.
going to provide the opportunity.
Right.
You know, you praying for patience. Guess what the Lord is going to do? He's going to put you in positions to where you have to exercise that patience. You see? So we have to learn these different things that we're asking for. We lack in wisdom. Guess what? The Lord is going to present an opportunity in order to get that wisdom. It says wisdom coming by opportunity of what? Of leisure. So if you're praying for wisdom, guess what the Lord is going to do? He might end up
Taking your woman.
Because why? You be giving too much time to her.
Or
You might lose hours on your job or lose the job overall.
Yeah.
Right? But how you going to react to those things? See, now that those things happen, now it's time for me to sit up with my feet up, get drunk all day and play 2K. No. You see? I prayed for that wisdom. Now the Lord opened the door for me to get that wisdom. What am I going to do with that? And that's how the Lord does things. You know?
This is the NLT of Philippians 2 and 13. It says, for the Most High is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. So that's heavy in itself, man, to have just having a desire to want to please and serve the Lord, man. All right, because once again, man, that's not given unto to all Israel, all right? And then even on top of that, man, to have the proper way, because it says in the book of Romans, it talks about how our people have the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. All right, so they might have a desire to a degree, a fervency, but it's not according to what's actually pleasing to the Lord. So the fact that shows you, man, what we're a part of is precious.
Yeah. Precious. That's why Scripture says, "You have chosen me. I have chosen you. You have not chosen me." But that's what it is, man. The Lord does the choosing, man. You can't just wake up and say, "I want to serve the Lord." Nah, man, that's not how it works, man. The Lord has it already mapped out what you're gonna do, what part you're gonna play. You know, just to back the brother up, man. You know, so these people, man, that we see that are still in darkness, man. The Lord didn't want them, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And what's even heavy about that is because we have this light, but we've seen men that the Lord is taking it away from, man. So that puts us in a particular fear and trembling to be walking in as well. It says in the book of 1 Peter, I think it's the first chapter, or 2 Peter, the first chapter. It says, "Pass the time of your sojourning here in fear," you know, because we don't know exactly what our role is, but hey, we have to be doing these things that are pleasing unto the Lord, man. You know, praying for these things. It says that in that prayer in the book of Sirach. All right, it says, "Give me not over to the greediness of the belly." And then the latter end of that verse says that you may uphold your servant that is desires to please thee. So if our desire is really towards the Lord and to please him, and the Lord is going to create those opportunities to where we can show forth that, you know, he's going to have it to where we're going to be given the tools and everything that we can to walk in that way, man, to really walk as a servant of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
To be able to separate the clean from the unclean. The Lord said, what? Touch not the unclean thing and I will receive you. Well, what are we talking about? We're talking about what? Since Halloween is tomorrow, we're talking about the origins of these pagan holidays, man. Right? Which ultimately stems back to idolatry. So here it is, you got guys who are calling themselves Hebrew Israelites, but they're allowing themselves or their families to partake in these activities, man. You see? And these things is part of the unclean. So if we're partaking in it, if we're in the spirit of these things, guess what? We have just became defiled. So that's why going back to Proverbs 1, it says what? That these things is to give subtlety unto the simple. This is why we do these lessons. It's for the people who are sincere, right? The Israelites, the men and women who are listening to these videos and are sincere and truly want to serve the Lord, they know how to go about and live their life, man. Like the scripture says that we may know how to possess our vessel in sanctification, right? But let's get Wisdom of Solomon 14 chapter. I don't know what, but you hold something?
No, I was just seeing if you was going back to the Halloween shit.
I mean, if you got something that you want to read.
Yeah, I'll just bring it up real quick then, because I had looked it up in the Britannica, right, and it goes back to the same thing that you had brought out, called some high-end, or however you say it.
They say it's pronounced so-in, but
Okay,
I don't see how they get that out of that.
Okay, well, I'll just grab this because it says just a little paragraph. It says during the Saman festival, the souls of those who had died were believed to return to visit their homes. What that reminded me of was the Day of the Dead, right? That's what they say. It says, and those who had died during the year were believed to journey to the other world. People set bonfires on hilltops for relighting their hearth fires for the winter and to frighten away evil spirits. They sometimes wore masks and other disguises to avoid being recognized by the ghosts thought to be present.
Look, that's why it says it's rooted in what? Mythology, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is all fucking stories, man. And just like within Christianity, the myth of hell, you're gonna
Right.
burn forever in a place. That's rooted in mythology.
The Hades.
Yeah, it's not true. You see? But go ahead.
It's man, that's just crazy. Yeah, because they'll say that that Satan fought the Lord, and they'll use the scripture in Revelations where it says the devil and his angels fought with Michael and his angels, right? But that's future. That's a future prophecy. You know that it doesn't correlate. It don't make sense. But it says
It's Disney Channel shit. That's what these people are celebrating. Is some Disney Channel shit.
Mm-hmm. It was in those ways that beings such as witches, hobgoblins, fairies, and demons came to be associated with the day. It says the period was also thought to be favorable for divination on matters such as marriage, health, and death. You know, and then it talks about how the Romans incorporated it. But the key part that I wanted to bring out was it says that time period during Halloween was favorable for divination, man. And that's exactly what happens on those wicked ass days. Like the brother was going back to these pagan rituals, the different sacrifices and the cults that they have, all that shit, and it all goes down during that time, man.
You want Wisdom of Solomon 14 or what?
Oh, yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon.
This is well, I'm gonna grab this because the brother mentioned how that day was marked in divination, which just goes into fucking what they call it. It's sorcery, but what do you call it? The bitch with the fortune telling. The water. That's what it. You know. This is the book of Deuteronomy 18:9. When thou art come into the land which Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations, which Jeremiah 10, right? Who we read earlier. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the day of the dead, and the dead's come back and visit and all. You see?
Yeah.
So that's showing you according to the Lord, that the Halloween, bro, is a no-no for us, man. Completely, right? It says, I'm gonna read 11 again, Deuteronomy 18:11. Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. A necromancer, right? That goes back into the dead. You know?
Yeah.
A necromancer.
Yeah, somebody who supposedly raises up the dead.
Yeah. You know? That's why there's a fucking term for motherfuckers that sleep with dead bodies.
I thought it was the same.
Necrophilia.
And necrophilia. Yep.
The
You know?
of the dead. Yeah.
Yep. Because necro goes back into dead. So a necromancer is one that consults with the dead. So once again, showing you that, bro, this day is rooted in things that's against the Lord, man.
All about death.
Verse-
Seances.
Right. That's a part of those rituals.
Yeah.
You know? This verse 12. As a matter of fact, you can get the Wisdom of Solomon 12 to back up this, since we're speaking about what they were doing in the land, and that's going to back it up. This verse 12. It says, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. So this day is considered an abomination, man. And that's what we're telling our people. But yet it's for the kids. Well, the Lord is considering your goddamn child an abomination. You see? It says, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doeth drive them out from before thee, man. So because of the wickedness that they were doing in our land is why the Lord drove them out. Well, it's because of the wickedness that's being spread and and fucking, what's the word, man? Perpetrated, yeah, but I was gonna say a word that
Perpetuity.
that fucking permeates. Just you know, when fucking disease is just spreading, Joe. You know. But that's what America is, man, in this ideology, man. You know? It's spreading this madness all around the world, which is why the Lord jacked those goops up, man, in South Korea. Right? And those are all examples, man. Here it is, the Lord is judging these different nations up, and America's just sitting there. Bro, a great judgment is going to be upon this place, man. It says, verse 13, thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua thy God. For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God have not suffered thee so to do, man. So the Lord told us not to do those things, man. You see? And that's why judgment came upon those Canaanites, which is why judgment is going to come upon Esau, Edom, because all these different things, these rituals, these fucking rites, these goddamn pagan ceremonies, Esau knows that all these things, right, that the ancients were doing it back then. And he's continuing in that, thinking that he's going to combine all this together, you know, so that he can be this ultimate power. You know, you watch certain movies and shit, you know, it'd be like a motherfucking sorcerer, and he killing other sorcerers and shit so he can get their power, so he can be the number one power nigga. That's Esau, man. He's taking rites and rituals from Babylon, from Egypt, from Sumeria, just these different, and putting the shit all together, man.
Hey, in that movie, The Mummy, man, when the mummy was about to kill dude, he had all them necklaces and shit.
Oh, yeah.
He was calling on all them different guys.
But what saved him?
He said the language of the
language of the slaves, man, which was what it was us, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what preserved his life. None of all that bullshit.
He was saying a bunch of shit.
Yeah, Quan Chi. Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah. He got that Wisdom of Solomon for you.
Yeah, let it ride.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, and starting at the top. It says, for thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. It says, therefore chastenest thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Lord.
Now, this 12th chapter is going into the Canaanites that was in our land. Now, the Lord sent judgment upon them little by little. The Lord was doing two things, right? First thing he was doing, he was driving them out little by little so that what? The animals don't overrun the land when we got into it. So when we got into the land, guess what? It was wells already digged. It was vineyards and trees already planted.
Everything was set.
Right? Everything was set for us. That's why the Lord drove them out little by little. But also the Lord was teaching us when you read the totality of this 12th chapter. He was driving them out little by little because that was judgment that the Lord was bringing on them so that they can see we getting fucked up. Let us turn from our ways. But they didn't do that.
Right.
Because as you continue to read down, it speaks about how they were already set in their mind. The Lord knew that they wasn't going to repent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the same thing the Lord is doing in modern day Canaan, which is America, man. You know? In this modern, wretched, wicked ass society. See, the Lord is bringing judgment by increments, little by little. So that what? So that these people can see and realize, bro, something ain't right here, man. But that's going back into the Lord allowing us to see that, man. See, the Lord ain't opened their minds to see that, you know?
It says their cogitations could not be changed.
Well, that's the one, yep. That's the same chapter.
Yeah.
He knew that they wasn't going to change,
Yeah.
but yet it was a purpose to it, man. And it's the same thing today. 2/3 of our people here in America, bro, their mind not going to change. But yet the Lord is bringing judgment every day. Every day. You know? Go ahead, up.
It says, verse 3, it says, for it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land. It says, whom thou hatest for doing most odious. For most, it says, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices.
Right. So the Lord showing you that the Lord hates. Right? So the Lord hated those Canaanites for doing what? Witchcrafts and those sacrifices, man. What is Halloween established on? Witchcraft and sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right? Same as Christmas and Easter and all that bullshit, man.
And you got the U-log, which is supposed to represent a child being burned, man. You know, it's called Yuletide.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They put the Yule log under the tree, I believe, and that's supposed to represent a child sacrifice, man.
Yep.
They show you that in the show Vikings.
Yep.
Right. They had the celebration of Yule and they were doing sacrifices.
Yep.
You know?
There where you get the wreath,
Mhm.
you know, the mistletoe.
Right,
Stand under the
mistletoe
mistletoe,
thing.
you gotta kiss somebody and shit. No, bro. All that shit go is pagan origins to all that, man.
Yeah. And
You gotta think, anything that's promoted here it is, we're in the land of confusion. This is Babylon. Anything that's being promoted here and set in the forefront, we gotta be like, nah, bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know
What
about
is that, bro?
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's all, bro, it says that they consult only to cast us down from our excellency, man. So anything that's here being promoted, bro, that gotta be against the Lord. And if it's being demonized, maybe let me look into that. You know? This nigga talking about that ain't good. Just like the herbs.
Yeah.
They demonized taking the herbs and
Right.
go to the doctor and all this. Come on, bro. What's it? Come on, bro. I'm gonna believe this nigga.
Right.
You know?
We don't recommend it.
Oh yeah, demonizing Kanye.
Yeah.
And he's
Well, it says the truth shall be evil spoken of, man.
But even within that, it's fucking hypocrisy, man. Because you got this bullshit Halloween, right? And because I was seeing on social media, you got a bunch of fucking people that dressed up as so-called Jesus Christ and nuns, and some dressed up as Satan and
Slutty
shit.
ass nuns.
But it ain't no problem with that. It ain't no problem with them mocking supposedly this supposed to be the
saints.
God of Christianity,
Right.
right? So there's no problem with them mocking the saints who's supposed to be holy, so on and so forth. But let somebody say something about some Amalekites, some small hats, and it's a fucking problem, man. That shows you the hypocrisy. And that's the thing with these fucking Christians, that nobody wants to question the origin or the roots of what the fuck you believe in, man.
Well, they just want to continue and do what they doing.
Doing whatever.
It's for the kids.
You know?
Like them kids.
That's ultimately what it is. You know, they don't want to stop doing what they flesh wants to do, man. You know? But we still in that Solomon, right?
It says, verse 5, it says, and also those merciless murders of children.
Merciless murderers.
Yeah. It says, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood.
And you don't think that's still going on?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right? Hey, brother's been sharing that book,
Negro.
The Delectable Negro. Right?
That's filthy shit right
The
there.
Delectable Negro, bro. And they was talking about how they was eating Jake during the time of slavery. You think they don't still do that shit?
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
They still got
there's a bitch called it's like her name's like Melina Ibrahimovic or something like that. And she soul cooking.
I
Yeah,
call
that's
her
called
Adreno
spirit cooking or some
Abramovich.
shit.
Yeah, spirit cooking. Spirit
Yeah,
cooking.
Jay-Z been linked to her, man.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, Clinton.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clinton. She's
Yeah,
a witch.
well-
She's a whole witch.
Well, yeah, I call her Adreno Abramovich, but basically, you had Jim Carrey basically bring out that
Oh yeah, the adrenochrome.
not just that, but how you know, while you're eating Christmas turkeys, the elites are eating whole babies. He said that,
As a joke though, like, and they thought it was funny.
and they put that in that movie. Like when you watch that movie Snowpiercer, I don't know if you ever seen it, but he said one thing I hate about myself is I know how baby tastes, and I know that. He said one thing I hate about myself is I know how human flesh tastes. He said one thing I hate even more is that babies taste the best. They're putting it all out there, man.
You got that bitch, I think she just died, Betty White. She was
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
commercial.
yeah.
They said, what do you do to stay so
stay so-
youthful?
yeah.
She said, I drink some tea and I drink my water and I drink a little bit of baby blood.
A glass of a virgin or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
she
some,
said.
some
glass
type
of
of
a
blood or
virgin.
some shit.
They dead
Yeah,
ass.
you had them
I say
two.
glass of a virgin.
Then you
A
got them.
glass of blood.
A blood of
whatever.
You got them two MGK and that bitch
Megan
she
Fox.
said- Yeah, them two
Megan Fox,
celebrities.
they
They
drink
say
their
they
blood.
drink each other's blood
Yep.
on special occasions. They
And
drink
this
each
shit is
other's
normal.
blood. Yeah, I mean it's normal amongst Hollywood
Yeah.
that they do this. They do what we're reading about. They do that. They have they're merciless murderers. They're having feasts of blood. They're sacrificing babies and eating them. That's what's going. That's what the rulers of this earth is doing. And the Lord said He hated the Canaanites for doing that. So how you think He feel about the motherfuckers that's doing that today? All right, go ahead.
It says, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew. It says, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls the destitute of help.
That's destitute.
Destitute of help.
Yep. So it says parent. You know,
Damn,
parents. Yeah,
kill their own.
they were doing that. Going back to that Deuteronomy 18 we just read, man.
Yeah.
That's why when we came into the land, the Lord said, "Don't do those things you see them doing." You know,
There was
and that's. Go ahead.
Salaki.
Go ahead.
Well, there was a CIA agent. He basically found a tape of Hillary Clinton.
Hey, when you read, speak up too. The brother says you reading too low.
It was called Frazzle Drip. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it was a tape about Hillary Clinton and this other chick, basically mutilating a child. Man, they cut her face off, man. You know, just to back you up, man.
They still doing that. You know.
Yeah.
They what did you just mention?
Frazzle Drip. It was called Frazzle Drip.
Okay, because I know it was reports going around about how the FBI had a video
Yeah, that's it.
of
Hillary
Hillary
Clinton?
Clinton.
Yep.
And the other hoe, I forgot what her name.
And they were
Vomiting.
well the
Yeah,
FBI
face.
people they said they fainted and threw up by watching it.
Yeah.
But what they were doing, it was a little girl that they were sacrificing and they were wearing her face and shit. And
Yeah.
bro,
That's
these
some-
are some sick ass
Oh, yeah.
people, man.
Leatherface
Fuck,
bitches.
bro.
And they brought that out because the movie with Tom Hanks, what's that shit called? Where he gets shipwrecked and he got the fucking volleyball.
Oh,
and
you
shit.
talking about Castaway?
Yeah, Castaway. They say that volleyball was supposed to represent that little girl, and then it
Yeah.
has like subliminal messages in there of Epstein Island and all that bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that face, that smiley face
Yeah.
that they
Yeah,
got on
they
all
wear.
them shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Some
same
bloody
shit.
face.
Yeah, that's the
And now
Frazzle
they
Drip.
sell that shirt in stores. Like you can go to damn Spencer's or whatever in
Yep.
different places, and like I'll be noticing it on people's shirts. I'm like, I don't even know what that comes from, but that's a lot of this. All this shit is idolatry.
Fucking shit.
Just the
You
mind.
know what I'm saying? Like all this shit. That's why it calls this place the land of idols.
Yeah.
So all these so-called holidays and everything like that, they all go back to idolatry in a certain form.
Right.
But even in that, exalting that wickedness, like it.
And then no, I was just gonna add to you, and then you have a motherfucker to say, well, that's what they were doing back then. It means
Right.
something different
Right.
now. No,
It's the same
it's
shit.
the same shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Just
you can use that
normalize.
example with that shirt. Well, they might have meant it for child sacrifice, but that shirt represents something else for me. Like, no, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is.
Bro, that's still the face
Of a,
of
Some
a
little girl.
child that was ripped off, bro.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what it means to you. Like nigga, that's what that is.
That shit's cool though.
Sick ass
Fucking
shit
man.
right there.
You see? And that's the origins of the shit here within this place. See, this is the sick individuals who are controlling this, man. And that's why ultimately, man, they gonna come shut us down for the things we say, bringing forth, man.
Definitely.
You know. But go ahead, we can get back to that, Solomon.
Back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, in verse 7, it says that the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive a worthy colony of the Most High's children.
Right. You know, and we hope to be worthy to be brought back to that, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey, because what's happening? Pretty much this is replaying itself over again.
Yep.
You got those small hats in our land who are still doing these things that the ancient Canaanites were doing, and the Lord is about to kick their ass out and bring us back into it. So it's like this is playing itself out all over again, man.
That's right.
You know?
But it says he shall give it to whose right it is. You know, hey, the Lord is going to establish righteousness in this earth, man. You people got to go, man. You get small hats in that land, bro. You about to get burned out of that land, man. Okay, what it says in this book of Revelations, it says, I looked and there was no more sea. That's talking about the people, man. These people, everybody on the soils of Babylon the Great is about to get wiped. It said, I shall sweep it with the best of destruction, man. You know, the Lord's finna sweep this place with fire, man. You know, that's the best cleansing agent, man, you could use, man. You know, fire is a cleansing agent, man. So the Lord's gonna cleanse this land. He's gonna cleanse this whole earth of wickedness, man. And we're hoping to be a part of that cleanup crew, man. Because we hate what the Lord hates, man.
Hey, that's why it says in the book of Job, it shall go ill with him that's left in this tabernacle. Meaning anybody, like the brother had mentioned, anybody left on the soils of America, you are not of the elect, then hey, that's fire and brimstone, man. Lake of fire.
It says, let them melt away like a snail, man. It says, their eyes shall consume away in their holes. You people are worthy to partake of this, man. And you prove the Lord is letting you, the Lord see, just like Cain, man. The Lord gave Cain time to prove that he was wicked, man. Which says that was perfect in our ways until iniquity was found in thee, man. The Lord's letting everybody prove what they really fucking are, man. The Lord is letting those sins go up. It says the sins have reached up to heavens, man. The Lord's letting it pile up, man.
Yeah.
And he's about to drop it on your ass, man.
Yeah, hey, man, the longer we here in America, bro, every day, bro, we understand that this judgment is they're worthy of it, man. Like the brother just said, man. You know, sometimes you know, you be like, God damn, 100 million missiles.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, bro, man, bro, this shit needed, man. Bro, it needed, bro.
Was I
it
angry?
needed, bro. You know, like we speak about the first death.
Yeah.
Hey, the first death came like that. It says they was eating and drinking, giving in marriage, and then boom.
Yeah.
See, this time, this second death, guess what? There are sufferings that's going to lead up to this second death, man.
Yeah.
Bro, the Lord finna leave people out here starving. Finna give you just a little bits to sustain your life so you all ass can catch a missile. Right? Lord finna leave people in here to eat other people. Lord finna had a thought in your mind that you had to eat every last one of your children. And that's gonna be the last fucking thought that these people have before they destroyed by the nuclear missiles, man. You see? And they are worthy to partake in it, man. Let's get that 14th chapter. You got a precept, go ahead.
This is Lamentations chapter 4
Start at 23.
and verse 6. It says, I'll start at verse 4. It says, the tongue of the suckling child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. Now this is going into the destruction that came when the Babylonians had came in and was jacking Jacob, right?
And why was that brought upon us? Because of idolatry.
Damn,
Because of our disobedience. Like straight up, man. That gruesome judgment came upon us in 70 AD, right? That came upon us during the Babylonians. Why? Because what we were doing. Worshiping the Queen of Heaven. Worshiping the set of stars. Like it says in Ezekiel, the 8th chapter. It says dig in the wall and see what they do.
Worshiping the sun.
They worshiping the sun, the stars. It speaks about what do they call it? It says the planets. It says they was worshiping the planets, man, which is the constellations, you know. You know. That's why that judgment came upon Jake ass, man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep, it says, hey, that Jeremiah 16th chapter, which is going into the Babylonians coming in, it said that they would die of grievous deaths. It says how the Lord has taken away his peace from this people, even loving kindness and mercies, man. But it says, verse 5, it says, they that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace dunghills. And even when you read this in the NLT, it talks about they that were eating delicately. They searched through the garbages, all right, for food, you know. So people that were comfortable and everything like that, man, you're gonna be brought low, right? But this is the point I want to grab, verse 6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. So Sodom and Gomorrah, all right, when that destruction came, it came just like that. But he was saying even this punishment that came upon us during when the Babylonians came in, he said that was worse. Why? Because Jake had to go through the famine, all right? Jake had to watch their children starve, man, okay? Their women ravished, like it says in the 5th chapter, how the daughters of Zion were ravished in the streets. The sons and the young men were hanging by the hands and everything like that. So just applying the spirit, how much more or how much worse is it going to be in this time period, man? It ain't going to just be in an instant. It says that they're going to dwell in torments, man.
Yeah, the malnourishment,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and what if you malnourished and getting the things you need? What's gonna happen? It's death all everywhere. Here it is, nigga. You all fucked up. What's gonna happen? Disease gonna spread rampant, man. You know. So now you just dealing with all kind of diseases, man. You all fucked up.
Right.
It's dead bodies everywhere.
Yep.
It's animals loose.
Right.
I don't know if you brother seen them articles about how the mountain lions are all in Iowa, bro. Motherfuckers seeing them in their backyards, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's the reason why why all of a sudden these popping up now.
39 is why.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, it's about to be judgment out here running rampant, man. In all these different cities, man, they got zoos and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, here in the morning, they got. I think it's 5 lions and a tiger, bro. Let them motherfuckers get loose.
Right. They ain't gonna be that skinny that long.
Oh no, they gonna eat good. They gonna eat good. It's gonna be like I Am Legend.
Yeah.
You know, he was hunting that deer, and then the lion came and grabbed it, man.
Jeremiah 15.
It says thorns shall come up in there. Well, that's after the destruction. But it's another one that talks about how the grass gonna grow out the concrete.
Yeah, 2 Kings 16.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Covering their pathways.
Yeah. It's just like I Am Legend, man. You had animals running around and shit, man.
Yeah, because you gonna have certain cities better off than others, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's keep in mind it says what as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. You see, you got people well, if that's gonna be happening, how is people gonna be buying and selling then? Because in certain areas it's gonna be fucked up. Buildings gonna be run down, people gonna be searching through garbages and shit.
Right.
And in another area, it's gonna be business as usual, man.
MOTV system functioning.
The system running, the people going on, you know, because that's the same thing that was happening in Israel during 70 AD and during those wars.
Yeah, Masada.
You had certain cities that were straight. They was under the Roman rule. Like, look, we don't want no problems. So guess what? It was every day smooth for them. But then they hearing the cries of the city next to them, man. How they were sieged and shut off, and how they were killing and eating each other, man. You know? That's why in Amos it speaks about how one city gonna wander to another for water, man. It's gonna be the same way here. You know?
And it says it should be a vexation to hear the report, man. Okay? So yeah, man. Or you gonna have some cities that get totally evacuated into concentration camps, man. You know, the whole city just sent to FEMA, man. What do you think's gonna happen in there, man? You know, the head's gonna roll, man. You know.
Will you jump to 14, brother? Start at 23.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 23. It says, for whilst they slew children in sacrifices or used secret ceremonies.
Right? While they slew their children, right? So it's going back to these same merciless murderers of children, man. Go ahead.
Or made revelings of strange rites, they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled.
Right. So through those different strange rites, through those different rituals that they partake in, through these idols, now what? Adultery started running rampant. Murder started running rampant. Right? Go ahead.
It says, nor marriages any longer undefiled, but either one slew traitorously or grieved him by adultery.
You see? Slew one another traitorously or grieved them by adultery. They left neither lives nor marriages undefiled, man. And what's running rampant here in America?
Same shit.
Murder, killing your brother, and doing what?
Adultery.
And adultery, man. Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Get a cat in the Hellcat.
Right? That's through what? Through idolatry. You see that? This place is rooted in idolatry. Go ahead.
It says, so that there reigned in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury, disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good terms.
Oh, you help this nigga out and he don't repay you back. Forgetfulness of good terms, right? Go ahead.
Defiling of souls, changing of kind.
Doing what?
Changing of kind.
That all comes from what? Idolatry, man. Men wanting to be women and women wanting to be men. See, in the ancient world, it started with what? Cross-dressing.
Right.
Now it comes to the point where they actually cutting, you know, women cutting off their breasts,
Yeah.
Taking
men cutting off their, you know.
Well, yeah, that was happening in them Canaanites was cutting off their private members. That's why that was in our law.
Yep.
You know, if you cut off your private members, you shouldn't be brought into the congregation. You know, and even you had one of the kings of Nineveh. He was known as being a cross-dresser. You know, so these are things that once again they were happening way back then. Esau ain't doing nothing new. He's just got technology to where he could spread this wickedness throughout the four corners of the earth.
Yeah, you had one of the Egyptian pharaohs. If you look at his statue, this motherfucker looked like a woman, man. This motherfucker got hips and all that shit.
Yeah, no, that shit's satanic, man. That's why you got what's that shit? The Baphomet. It's an androgynous beast.
Yep.
You know,
Say
it
that's
got
right.
titties when it's a man and all kinds of bullshit.
Supposedly, one of those pharaohs is supposed to be a woman when you go into history.
One of them. Yeah,
That her husband,
Yeah.
her husband or her father, I forgot which one was
yeah,
it, died,
Yeah.
and the son wasn't old enough, so she dressed herself up as a man and
Yeah.
ruled as pharaoh.
Yeah, we talking about two different pharaohs, but I know you talking about two. Yeah, she wore like a mock beard, man.
Yeah, she had the fake beard and
Yeah.
shit. I forgot the name.
Yeah, but that's what the heathens did. There's still African tribes right now that are all out homos, man. Okay, you over there in Thailand, you have
Yeah, a bunch of trannies over there.
yeah, not just that, but there's a society that they look like monks or something. I forgot what they called exactly, but they have the boys as catamites, man.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
They showed that on RT News. They did a whole
Yeah.
section on that, man.
Yeah.
You know, so all this was going down, man. And this ain't even talking about the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
You know, this is going further back. But like the brother had mentioned of that term of a catamite, all right, that's mentioned in the scripture when it says that there shall be none that's effeminate. You know, in the book of, I forget if it's 1 Corinthians or I know Paul had wrote about a man being effeminate. He shall not enter into the kingdom of the Most High. You go into that word effeminate, it goes back to being a catamite. And those were young boys that the Romans would take to be sex slaves, man. And that's why in the book of Joel, you see the prophecy that they sold a boy for a harlot to the Grecians, man.
Yeah.
So this is the nature of this devil already. But once again, these things all go back to a particular God that they worship that said that you do these different things, you will get power. This is how you're supposed to govern yourselves. See, we have laws that govern ourselves according to righteousness. Their laws are governments, all right, to govern yourself in wickedness, to go into further dark magic and all types of madness.
Well, that's why Israel is going to rule this earth in righteousness, man.
That's right.
That's why Isaiah 26 says, when the judgments of the Lord is in the earth, the inhabitants will learn righteousness. Because all these heathen, their practices and customs is off somewhere, somehow, man.
That's right.
You see? Because it's going back to what we read right here.
Yeah.
See, because when this how idolatry came into the earth, King Solomon broke it down. If we would have started up, it speaks about a father afflicted with untimely mourning, you know, of his son, right? And it talks about how that ungodly custom grew strong and how it spread. You see? So all these nations got a custom. All these nations is rooted in idolatry. Therefore, that's why you see all this disorder in these different nations, man. That's why it starts with us. See, it starts with us while getting ourselves in order through the Spirit right now, in order for the Lord to use us in the kingdom of heaven to get the world in order, man. Like this ain't something like what we're a part of. You know? The Lord is going to use us to set things back into order. Look how everything is in disarray. For thousands of years, bro, the earth has been engulfed in idolatry, adultery, murder, all kind of just vile, wretched shit, man. So you think that's gonna change in a day?
You got a lot of things.
No, when Holy Jerusalem come down, right? It's work to be done, man. Just like how they beat our heritage out of us. Well, we got. That's why Yahweh shall say, "What you shall rule them with a rod of iron, man. You shall break them in pieces like the potter's vessel." Why? Because they got to be beaten into submission. You got something?
Yeah, they got to pass under the rod. See, we're passing under the rod right now. These scriptures right now is the rod. Okay? Oh, it says, "Thy rod and thy staff comfort me," man. We're passing under it now, man. But hey, when we're ruling, we're gonna have to put you heathens under subjection with that rod. We're gonna literally have to hit you in the head with the rod, man. But I got a couple, man.
Just real quick, let the brother finish the wisdom of Solomon, then you got it.
Come back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. I'm going to start at 26 again. It says, "The disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good terms, defiling of souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriages."
Disorder in marriages, the man being over the woman.
The woman being over the man.
What did I say?
The man being over the woman.
The water.
It says, "Adultery and shameless uncleanliness. For the worshipping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil."
That's it. Worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, cause, and end of all evil, man.
And that's how you know that that Christianity, that's a full-fledged idolatry.
Yeah.
Because what? It's nothing but adultery promoted in the churches. Even in the book of Jeremiah, I believe it's either the 5th or the 23rd chapter, it said if ye had spoken my words, you would have turned them from their sins. That's how you know that they're not teaching the words of the Lord, because it shouldn't be adultery that's being pushed on the churches. All right, it shouldn't be the acceptance of the alphabet community.
Yeah.
This is how you know that what they're pushing is idolatry, and this is how you even know that these other Israelite groups are teaching idolatry, because what's going on amongst their congregations?
Well, it's Baruch the 6th chapter. It says that their priests have bald heads with no beards. It says that the women, menstruous women, eat of the holy things. They partake in, like Baruch 6 goes into all that whole thing,
The
man.
whole chapter.
That whole chapter goes
They
into
name
it,
after
man.
each other's
Which
wives.
that's a heavy chapter right there too, man. You know, but you get your precept.
Yeah, this is on your earlier This is on your earlier point you made. This is Micah 4:2. "And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, and to the house of Yahweh, power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we shall walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem."
That's after a foot is up their ass, man. You see, after they get beaten into submission, they gonna understand. Like, look, let us go and learn, man. You know, you got it.
This is Isaiah 2:3, saying the same thing pretty much. "And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem." Is that happening right now? Is that happening right now? Is the law coming forth from these small hats, man? What are they doing over there, man? They have the biggest mole parade the earth has ever seen, man. Okay, so that is not happening, man. All right, but that's what's gonna happen when it says when the righteous it says
authority, people rejoice.
I was thinking about that one. It says basically how we're gonna establish the law on the earth, man. I can't word it. No, I forgot how it's worded.
Yeah,
man.
the inhabitants will learn righteousness.
The inhabitants
not judgments
shall
are
learn.
in the earth.
Not judgments on the earth, the inhabitants shall learn righteousness, the water. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, man. All right? That's why you had that one woman, man. She was, come back to Israel, come back to Israel.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she had it, you are the real Israelites, you know? Because, you know, she was basically saying, these are the people that's going to establish righteousness. The scripture says, the time will come when the true worshipers shall worship Yahweh Shem Yahushua in spirit and truth, man. Now that's happening now, but even to 100% when the kingdom is established, man. Okay, because there's gonna be a point where we gotta root out those rebels, man. Okay, there's a lot of cleaning up that needs to be done around this earth, man. Those rebels gotta be purged out, man. Okay, you're gonna have people in South America that still want to worship Cesare, man. Okay, they gotta go, man. And just like when we had just like when we were going into the Holy Land, that whole generation that still had that fucking
That had Egypt in them.
that Egypt in them, they had to go, man.
See, the Lord delivered them out of Egypt, but you couldn't take the Egypt out of them.
Yeah.
You know, so this second time around, bro, anybody that with America still in them is not gonna get delivered, man.
Right.
So that's why we gotta get Egypt out of us. See, that was the whole point. They were wandering in the wilderness.
Yeah.
The Lord had them wander because He didn't want Egypt coming into Israel.
Yeah.
So He had them wandering so that Egypt could come out of them, man. But guess what? It didn't happen. So that's why the Lord swore, they shall not enter into my rest. That's applied even in the spirit to this day. That's why these certain people can't get it, man. You know? But we gonna start to wrap up. Any brother got, you own something? No?
Yeah, I got one real
Go
quick.
ahead.
It says Baruch 4 and 6. You were so
Bible question. Can you just start at 4?
Khan. It says verse 4. It says, "O Israel, happy are we for the
Oh,
thing."
Tilaki, brother. Tilaki.
You said
My
6.
bad. Yeah, I thought you said 6.
No, 4 and 6. It says, "Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved Yahweh to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies." It says, "For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahweh." You know, so just going back to the topic that we were speaking about, man. That's where we were messed up. That's where the predicament we're in, man, because we went away from the laws, statutes, and commandments and sacrificing them unto other gods, man.
That's right.
You know,
And Jacob's still provoking the Lord,
Yep.
man.
Still
Jacob's still
provoking the
provoking the Lord. See, you take it as a light thing. All's for, like the brother mentioned, all's for the kids, Easter,
Right.
Halloween. I don't mean it like that and this and that and the third. Yeah, you're going about to establish your own righteousness, man. So everybody, hey, like Yahweh Shah said, man, in Luke the 19th chapter, he gave that parable and it was speaking of him. When it says, "Those mine enemies that would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me." So if you don't want to submit unto what the Lord has said, well, I mean it like this. Well, the Lord is looking at it differently. All right, you're in idolatry. All right, you're gonna be put to death. Straight up, man. So that's the energy the Lord is coming with, man.
No, all that's just promoted, man. I remember, hey, shit damn near made me cry, bro. I remember, because I had came into the truth, and I had asked my mom something, and she's like, "Oh, well, you know, when I came here, you know, when I was raising y'all up, we didn't celebrate these certain things. I can't remember exactly what it was." She's like, "We didn't keep these so-called holidays, but then your sister would come back from school and be like, oh, you know, how come they're doing this, they're doing that?" And she's like, "I felt bad, so everybody else was doing it, so, you know, we started keeping these things."
Yeah.
And it's like, that's like the brother said, oh, for the kids, oh, let's go with the norm. Everybody's doing it, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is Baruch chapter 6 and
Hey,
verse.
just to quote one real quick, it says, "Following out a multitude to do evil, man."
That's it.
So, hey, us being Israelites, man, we shouldn't be, well, that's what everybody else is doing. Like, nah, man, it says, "Be ye holy, be ye separate," man.
That's it.
And when you read about it in the book of Tobit, man, Tobias or Tobit and his and his people, all right, even though the rest of the northern kingdom, they was going into all different idolatries, they was still going to Jerusalem and serving the Lord. So even though our people is still going in this madness, man, we should be standing up for righteousness and following the Lord, man. But you got to,
No matter how much shit they talk.
That's right.
Because according to 1 Peter, they gonna think it's strange that you don't run to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. You know? So when you wake up and you come out of that Christmas spirit, you come out of that Halloween and Thanksgiving, you come out of those things, guess what? They gonna talk shit, man. They gonna try to make you ashamed.
Yeah.
They gonna make you feel bad. But you gotta hit that Baruch.
This is Baruch chapter 6 and verse 4.
This is the mentality we gotta have. Start at 1.
Verse 1. Baruch 6 and 1. It says, "Because of the sins which ye have committed before the Most High Power, ye shall be led away captives into Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, the king of the Babylonians."
Let's apply it to today. We was led captive, right? Via slave ships into America, man. Go ahead.
"So when ye become unto Babylon, ye shall remain there many years, and for a long season, namely 7 generations. And after that I will bring you away peaceably from thence. Now shall ye see in Babylon gods of silver and of gold and of wood borne upon shoulders, which cause the nations to fear. Beware therefore that ye in no wise be like unto the strangers, Neither be ye afraid of them when ye see the multitude before them and behind them worshiping them.
Right. So just because the majority of these people is doing these things,
Right.
don't be afraid, right? Don't be ashamed. You know,
Yeah.
fuck these people, man.
Yeah.
But they make you seem like you crazy if you allow it to. You don't eat pork. So what? You don't eat pork? What?
What do you eat then? Nigga, what?
Not
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Other foods.
Keep it clean. Christmas. Ain't doing nothing for Christmas.
Yeah, I remember
But-
my. Yeah, no. I remember my supervisor said, "Well, you a communist because I wasn't participating in they Thanksgiving potluck and some shit." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." And he's like, "What, you think you better than that?" I'm like, "Man, get the
I'd
fuck
have told
outta
his
here,
ass I'm
man."
Native American. Now what, motherfucker?
Right.
You disrespecting me.
Right.
You see, you
That's
see what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers wanna, you know. I'd have sure told his ass, man. I'm Native American, man. That's it. No. Do you know what that represents for my people? I'd have shut his ass up then.
I actually,
You think you're better? No. Do you think you better?
Right.
That's what I'd have told his ass, man. Get the fuck out my face, man. Now I can go to HR on your ass.
HR on his ass, man.
I actually told that
Racist
to some Issacharites at my job. It's crazy, man. You know, I actually said that. You know,
God, it says verse 6.
Bro, I hate these people, man.
Got to.
yeah, bro.
Go ahead, Op.
Baruch 6:6. But say ye in your hearts, O Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, we must worship thee.
So that's the thing. Say in your mind, in your heart, reassure yourself, I'm worshiping the Lord, man.
That's it.
I'm serving Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. He told me don't do that shit.
for me in
Simple
my
as
house.
that, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't participating in that. You know, you in your house, if you're old enough, you got your own household, of course. But you got people that might be still living with their
Right.
parents. You know what I'm saying? You might have a woman that's under a husband that don't believe, right? There's different circumstances, man. You gotta say in your heart. Your husband wants you to make Christmas dinner. Fuck it, you gotta go. You gotta do it. But in your mind,
You're like-
you like, no, my heart is not in this, man. You got a nigga that want to eat pork all day. What she gotta do? She gotta go make that pork for this nigga. But in her mind, you know, I'm not eating that, and I'm not. My heart not in that. Or a child. You might be 12, 13. Your parents talk about, you gotta go make me this.
You gotta go do that.
You gotta go cut the grass. It's the Sabbath. You gotta come. You know, in your heart, we serving the Lord, man. Lord knows our hearts. You see? Is more in there?
I'll just read this next verse. It says, For mine angel is with you, and I myself caring for your soul.
That's it, man. Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai is with us. I'm now with Allah. And we gotta believe that no matter the situation we're in, if our heart is towards Him,
That's it.
if our mind is towards Him, and we're striving and we're fighting to continually do what's pleasing unto Him, man. You see, whether we're under somebody else's household or not, Lord knows our heart, and the Lord know the effort and energy we put toward His name. You see that? You got anything else? So, Lord will, we hope this was edifying. Go out of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, for giving us the spirit to do this lesson. We're going to give all praises, honor, glory to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash.
double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to all you brothers preaching the gospel in truth and sincerity, always in charity. Shalom.
Shalom.